The Peacemaker's journey, from broken boy to reluctant hero. Christopher Smith was born into chaos. He didn't ask for it. He didn't choose it. But from the moment he was a boy, the world taught him one thing: survival isn't free. Raised by a militant and racist father, Auggie Smith, who operated under the moniker White Dragon, Christopher was groomed not to feel, but to fight. Not to think, but to obey. In a compound filled with weapons, hatred, and authoritarianism, Christopher was taught a distorted version of honor. Peace was worth any price, even murder. His earliest trauma was irreversible. As a child, Chris accidentally caused the death of his own brother during one of their father's training sessions. That moment broke him, but it also built a shell-hardened, guilt-ridden, obedient. He swore then he'd kill anyone if it meant saving the world. That was the first lie he told himself. The Soldier and the Mask. Chris joined the military and later worked under Auggie, executing black ops missions no one talked about. He believed that if the mission was for peace, his soul could be washed clean. But no matter how many missions he completed, how many enemies he eliminated, peace eluded him. It wasn't until the events of the Suicide Squad that Chris began to break free from the lies he had been fed. Task Force X misfits like Bloodsport, Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark became mirrors. He betrayed them. He killed a hero. And yet, he was the one who survived. But survival without purpose is empty. A second chance. In Peacemaker Season 1, Chris emerges not as a hero, but as a broken man under surveillance, forced into another mission. Yet something begins to change. Surrounded by new allies: Adebayo, Harcourt, Vigilante, Economos, he sees what he never had: connection, loyalty, empathy. Not everything was a transaction of bullets and body counts. He struggles. His father haunts him physically and mentally. The sins of the past don't fade quietly. But this time, Chris doesn't run. He fights his father, not just the man but the ideology. When he kills White Dragon, he doesn't just end a life. He reclaims his own. By the end of Season 1, Chris is still damaged, still odd, still unsure, but he is free for the first time. And freedom isn't peace, but it's the soil peace can grow from. Wisdom earned in blood. Season 2. Now, in Season 2, Chris faces new challenges. A doppelganger version of himself threatens not just his team, but his own sense of identity. The introduction of Rick Flag Seaster, seeking revenge for the son Chris killed, adds a new layer of moral complexity. Chris must confront the reality that not all ghosts stay buried. He must look a man in the eye who lost a child because of him. He must decide, is peace still worth any cost? But here's the evolution. He now understands that peace must include justice, compassion, and accountability. He learns to listen. He earns the loyalty of his team not through brute force, but wisdom. And when he's offered a spot among the elite, hinted at by his awkward Justice League interview, it's not because of who he used to be, but because of what he has become: a man who knows that true strength comes from owning your failures and rising anyway. He no longer wears the helmet for war, but for that purpose. He doesn't kill blindly, he protects intentionally. From pain to prosperity, Christopher Smith never chased wealth in the traditional sense. But in the metaphorical realm, he's richer than ever. He owns his identity. He built a new family through earned trust. He traded vengeance for self-reflection. He gained wisdom through pain, not power. In a world of superheroes who fly and shoot lasers, Peacemaker's greatest power is his transformation. From a boy raised in hate to a man forging a new moral compass. His story is one of grit, redemption, and the slow construction of a soul. And that's what makes Peacemaker Season 2 not just entertainment but a meditation on what it means to evolve.